Okay. Good evening. From where I am right now in the UK, I know we have persons from Nigeria and hopefully some other parts of the world. So, good evening. Welcome to the Bootcamp webinar. Yeah. So there's a lot we have to share today, but we're basically going to focus on how you can why you need to do a postgraduate boot camp, and we'll talk about the boot camp itself, like the things that you're going to get or the benefits from the boot camp. My name is Marilyn, and I'm actually the founder of Scholarleen. We've been on this journey for the past 3 years, helping scholars, coaching them on how to secure admissions and scholarships. So it's actually been a platform to mentor a lot of persons. We've got a lot of good testimonies about how the platform has been helping persons. So I'm going to share my screen now so that we can, get this webinar off the ground. And in the course of the webinar, if you have got questions about the boot camp itself, how it's going to run, questions about what, any questions at all. Some of the questions we're going to address them when we start the boot camp. Some we can address in this webinar. Well, we'd like to have your questions. We'd like to know what your expectations are for the boot camp. We'd like to know what your challenges have been in this journey to secure admissions, scholarships. And remember that our focus is on data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Although we are not, it's also going to be a bit generic, but then we're going to be to specify on this areas. So if you are not interested in anything data science, AI, well, in one way or the other, everyone should be interested in this area, because no matter the sector, even if you want to study medicine, even if you want to study petroleum engineering, physics, or whatever your course, because one way or the other, it's the future and you're going to need it in whatever sector, in whatever career path you choose. All right, so I've got some persons already commenting. Gerald, hi. Gerald, hi. Noruka, Emeka. So if you've joined, I would like to see your comments so that I know that I'm not just speaking to myself, that I have some persons that are with me as well. Yeah, so drop your comments, say hello, just drop some greetings. Hi, Charles. You're welcome to the webinar. Hello, Frank. Okay. Let's get started. We have about an hour, so we are going to speed it up. And if you've got questions, I want to allow enough time for questions. So if you have questions, or if you already have questions, you can hold it up to the point where we'd have the Q&A. And if any question comes up in the course of the presentation, do well to type it and post it. Okay. I've got some help as well. So I have Theophilus here who's going to be helping to moderate. So if there are questions on the technical side as well, he's going to help out with the moderation. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, let me just see how. Okay, perfect. All right. So yeah, you're welcome to the bootcamp. So this session, is a webinar session. It's for Q&A. You can get to ask questions here. You're going to have an overview of why you should even do a postgraduate studies in this area of data science, machine learning, and AI, and what you're going to benefit from the bootcamp. And then we would have time to take questions as well. All right. Okay, I'm just going to talk about my career journey. So here it's looking like I mean, when I started off, it was like a maze, and some of you may have had that experience or you're experiencing that as well. And right now in your career, you feel like you're going through a maze, like a puzzle. You don't know where you are in the whole career journey. You probably had some dreams, some wishes about what you want to become, or you even chose a career that, or based on your discipline, it may not have even been your desired course, or you probably made the choice not knowing what's out there for you in the labor market. So wherever you are in that maze, just know that you're not alone, because everyone, even right now, there's still things that I've not figured out about the future. So, but the most important thing is to get the information that you need the time to be able to make the right decisions, or decisions that would suit you best. So for me, I graduated from Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, specifically the Electronics and Computer Engineering option. I had an interest in IT right from time, but then it didn't materialize immediately. So for me, my thesis anyway was on SMS device controller with motion detection. So I would say the defining moments or the turning points in my career was actually this conference I went for. And those are the kind of things you're going to see on this bootcamp. We're going to show you how, you can actually, you know, create a path for yourself. You can expose yourself to, or be at the right place, doing the right things at the right time. So making sure that you're doing the right things. So, there's this level of uncertainty we know, like you can't, you may have dreams, you may have visions, but you can't, like, let's say, even know what's going to happen in the next minute, because there's a level of uncertainty about life. But as much as you can, you want to, at least the things that are within your circle of influence and control, you want to be able to take your destiny in your hands. Let me put it that way. So the areas that you could have control, you help yourself in those areas. So part of it is exposing yourself to the right information, to the right or network. And that's another thing we want to do in this bootcamp, to create that avenue where people can even network. Actually, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. So some of us like had this expectation that through this bootcamp you have the opportunity to network, and I like that a lot, because you have actually seen that it's not just an avenue to gain knowledge, but it's also a platform to meet persons of like minds who maybe eventually could even become your colleagues. They could become your research collaborators. You could collaborate with them on a research. Who knows? You guys can even, from this boot camp, begin to think of avenues to collaborate, to work on research projects together. Even you could even pick interest in projects that I or some other persons may be interested in supervising. Who knows? So it's that avenue. So for me, it started off with this conference I went for. And I went for this conference. I had like a minimal knowledge of what Internet of Things was at that time. But I started off looking at a survey. So I didn't just go there to, okay, just, I went there for two reasons. I went to present and I also went to learn. So the presentation was actually on this survey paper that we worked on, survey of Internet of Things and in Africa originally, before I went on to write on, narrow it down to Nigerian context. So and from there, I was reading, I was learning, I was entering into the space of IoT, and my interest became how do we extract a lot of insights from this big data that's going to come from IoT devices. And we're told then that there are going to be billions of IoT devices, even outnumbering the number of humans on Earth. So my interest was how can we make sense of all that data, that big data that's coming. So that's where the connection to AI came in. So I'm just taking you through my journey because the journey is going to be different for everyone. So this is my journey, and the journey is still like I'm still on that journey. It's not ended. I'm still on it. But for you, it may be your defining moment. Maybe different information that you've received. It could even be this boot camp. It could be like that light bulb moment that, oh wow, I never knew this is the possibility, and you just have this light bulb moment that this is where I want my career to be, because I was at that point where I didn't know. Yes, I loved IT, but IT was very vast. I started learning Java, started learning this one. I was like, where am I going from here? Like, this is so vast. I mean, there's so much to learn, and yeah, IT can feel that way. There is so much to learn. You don't even know what to specialize in. So from then on, I did this certification. This is barely when data science was a thing in Nigeria back then, but I was looking beyond, what was happening in my vicinity at that point. I then went on to do a master's in embedded systems. I did a research internship. I'm going to, during the bootcamp, we'll talk about internships, like how do you boost your research potential? That's part of what we're going to look at during the bootcamp. There, maybe some of you may have this question already. I don't have research experience. How do I boost my research potential for postgraduate studies? So those are some of the things we'll look at during the main session of the bootcamp. Okay, so I then went on to do a PhD, which I'm still on. And that PhD is an intersection of AI and IoT, because I'm looking at how they intersect, right? And interestingly as well, I still teach around the topic of, started with mobile and wireless networking, but right now I teach MSc Big Data Analytics courses, including business analytics and natural language processing at the University of Derby. And my students, they do very interesting projects and amazing projects in this area, like very, very interesting. So in the course of my postgraduate studies, I've been opportune to attend various summer schools. I've been exposed to, learning from world experts in the space of AI, machine learning, data science, computer vision, just name it, and even statistics, logic as well. Yeah, so it's been a very interesting ride. I'm so grateful that I found this path. Like, I couldn't ask for any better career path than have it now. So when I connect these dots, all from here, and then I start tracing it back, I'm very grateful that, I was able to receive the kind of exposure and information that helped me decide on the career path I was going to take. So for you may be, I don't know where you are in this maze of your career journey, but I'll encourage you to trap every opportunity you get to get the information, get the network. Actually, this what brought me to this conference was my network as well. So it was in my network. So I would encourage you every opportunity, because time waits for no one, and you need to figure out right now, like as soon as possible, what you want to do in your career and how so you don't just keep moving in a trial and error pathway. You need to have like this vision of 5 years from now, 10 years from now, define the path. So when I was here, yeah, I was actually at this point, I'd finished my master's, yeah, I did my master's in the UK. And back then, it has changed now, or it's changing by 1st of July, it's changing. But then we had only 4 months. So if 4 months to figure yourself out, or you get kicked out of the country, you go back to your home country. So and within that 4 months, I was trying to get to this point. So from here to here. Yeah, and it was really, it wasn't easy. So some of the things that I did were just really trial and error, try and error. And so those are, over time, the wisdom, the experience I've built up. And the good thing, I do interact with a lot of scholars as well. So I keep updated on, the kind of experiences that, scholars have, which is a varied, everyone would have slightly different experience. So pulling together all that experience, it forms the wisdom that some of the things that we're going to be sharing in this boot camp. So let me just make sure everything is going okay. Like, I just have my screen before me. All right, perfect. So to go from here to there, from MSc to PhD, I was actually at a point where I was under pressure. Should I just use this 4 month period to look for a job? Well, because of that vision I had, that I wanted to move from this point to this point, from my master's to PhD. So I just had to ward off all those distractions. I just focus on the goal. So what you try to do is to look and vision what for 5 years would be, from 5 years from now will be, 10 years from now will be, and stay on course. Stay on course, because you're going to have like a lot of distractions, things that are going to pull you left, right, and center. Okay, so that's been the maze of my career journey, and I'll just move on to talk about why you should do a postgraduate study in data science, AI, machine learning. So the interest in data science has really grown. If you compare what it was like in 2004 to what it's like currently. So this is like interest. 100 is like 100% interest, and under 25 is like 25% or less interest. So the interest has really grown, in the space of how many years? Like, let's say if you go from here, it's like 10-year period or more. The interest has grown, and as the interest has also grown, so has the postgraduate offering. So this is for masters and interest in postgraduate studies. Also the things that are fueling this interest is, we know that AI has become the like a mainstream technology, and it's going to disrupt a lot of conventional approaches to doing business, to every sector really, from oil and gas. Yesterday I was speaking about application of oil and gas to Nigerian Society of Engineers, Port Harcourt branch. So you'd see disruption that AI is bringing, from oil and gas to healthcare, to civil engineering, construction, even to music. Yes, music, to surprise you, arts, media, just name it. So there is no sector that is left out. Yes, so that shows you this is actually what is really fueling this interest in data science and the likes. So industry, in fact, at some point it was like academia was trying to play catch up because industry had they started adopting, they were actually looking at the skills, hiring the skill set, but there was this gap between academia and industry because the academia were not really producing enough graduates that are going to fill these roles. So it seemed that there was a talent gap between what industry wanted and what academia was producing. And this gap, we notice, is so wide. If you go to our institutions today, like in Nigeria, you'd see that there's so much gap between what's being taught. In fact, look at the curriculum, what's being taught and what industry needs. So we need to fill that gap, and that's one reason why this postgraduate study is very important. And that's why our passion at Scholarleen is to improve access to quality education, improve access. Let's have more people receiving this education, wherever part of the world. Let them go get the best education. Let them get enlightened and use what they've learned to, bring it back home, one way or the other, help to boost the economy, help to improve themselves and forge a better life. All right, so we're still on why you should do a postgraduate study in this field. In case you're wondering why it may be useful to you. So this is a specialist course, really specialist. So sometimes you find that self-learning doesn't really help to cement the concept, because I've had people ask, should I do a postgraduate in this field, or should I just learn it on my own? But there are certain limits to self-learning, especially if you look at the kind of person you may be. If you are motivated by classroom, by a structured learning system, which most of us are used to, you would not be very motivated to want to learn, push yourself, especially when there are so many distractions. But a postgraduate study will give you a structured program that would make you committed. So you have timelines. So even if masters is even more regimented, you have this schedule. You're going to write exams by this time, or you're going to submit your coursework by this time. So it's very, very structured. PhD is also structured in a way because there are systems in place to assess how you're coming along in your project, be it meeting with your supervisors, or the academic committee have already set in place as milestones. So let's say at the end of 1 year, you need to submit a report. They call it different things in different universities, but those are like milestones they use to gauge your progress. And of course, at the end of it, you need to defend the work you've done to earn the PhD. Right. So most times self-learning doesn't really help to, consolidate those concepts. It would need you somehow having a structure that you can be disciplined to follow. So with postgraduate studies, you're going to learn the theory behind the models and techniques. So those are models that sometimes are used as a black box. Just use it as a tool, as a black box. There are certain limits. In fact, there are limits to what you can do with this black box approach, because you're not really going to be that scientist or that engineer that can open things up and make changes, or even on troubleshoot, understand where is the problem coming from. This model, why am I getting this kind of prediction? Probably it's that's opening up the model for more investigation, or even when you want to become more innovative, more creative, designing using the tools in a way that can produce a whole set of different results or answer a whole set of different questions. So, but with a postgraduate study, you're going to learn the theory behind the models and techniques. And that's going to allow you to create, to fine tune, and even to customize those solutions. Okay. Another point would be why, unlike some other fields, higher education, so here I mean MSc and PhD, is really well recognized in the industry. So there's some fields that, if you like, do masters, do PhD, they don't recognize it in those industry. When you come in, you're just going to, with your bachelor's, you can start working. So if you're just doing the PhD to get a job, by the time you start looking for a job, they might even say you're overqualified because you didn't need a PhD anyway. So, some persons, they do the PhD to just pass time so some just do it to, well, there's nothing else to do. I can't find a job, so let me go and do a master's, or let me go and do a PhD. And then when they start looking for the job, they'll just find, oh, this is even an entry-level job that I got. But in this field, it's recognized in the industry, because there are certain skills that this postgraduate studies will give you. Like I've talked about the theory. It helps you master some, theoretical things that you wouldn't have mastered if you didn't go through that rigorous study. So and that helps you begin to think like a scientist, right? Think like because as a data scientist, you're a scientist, really. You're doing some science on the data. And AI as well. Think of AI, you're building machines that mimic humans. So the kind of brain you need to have to be doing AI stuff. You need to be thinking creatively. You need to be thinking like, I'm a creator, I'm creating something that can think like me, right? So it's really recognized. Then in terms of the salary, the salary is also attractive. This is like average salary from website that maybe offer job positions. They've kind of profiled these offerings and come up with this average salary. But this field, they are ranked as, or professions in this area of data science, AI, and machine learning, is being ranked as jobs with the highest paying salaries, right? And another good thing is that the opportunities abound. I can tell you that one for sure, being here in the UK, because data science job, they are highly sought after, or data scientists are highly sought after. So you're going to have like you're going to be in a space that you would not really the jobs are there. So all you need to do is to package yourself and present yourself in a way that recruiters can see you and be able to assess you and interview you. So the opportunities abound. Even on LinkedIn, you're going to find those job opportunities. You can even get contacted. I know several times I've been contacted on LinkedIn, by those recruiting along this line of machine learning and data science. So, and of course, if you are working on a job that appeals to them, it means that your chances of actually, if you're interested in settlements, then that would boost those chances. All right, so I'm going to now show you samples of jobs that require postgraduates in this field. And this one specifically, they want you to have a PhD or master's in data science and related fields. So this is one example. Data scientists, you must have PhD, MSc, or equivalent experience in a modeling or scientific programming discipline. Example, so data science is here, applied math. So one thing about this field is that it's going to help you think, because you're actually modeling. So think of you're modeling a human because you're creating a machine that thinks like a human. So you're modeling, creating a model of a human. So you also need to have it helps you with programming as well. And in the bootcamp, we're going to talk about, let's say, because this is one question, frequently asked question as well. Okay, I don't have programming experience. I don't have math experience. How can I, would I be able to, do I have chances of getting a postgraduate offer in this discipline without programming, without math experience or even work experience? So we're going to look at that specifically. And that's why, this bootcamp, even though there are generic things to talk about, like generally how to write CVs, how to prepare your motivational letter or statement of purpose, but we are going to also tailor it to this field of data science, AI, and machine learning, and would look specifically at how you can, if you have deficiencies in your qualifications, what can you do to boost your candidacy? Okay. Another sample here, you can see MSc, PhD. It's required. Still data science, scientist role here. Here again, you have advanced degree, MSc or PhD. Still required. Okay, now let's look at the boot camp. Let's unpack the boot camp to see what you're going to be benefiting from the boot camp. Right. So why should you attend this boot camp? First of all, like I've said earlier, so this is AI DS, data science, ML, machine learning, meets postgraduate admissions and scholarship. So this is not some generic, just generic advice on postgraduate admissions and scholarship. Those are good, but in this case, we're looking specifically at this fields, these disciplines, to say, to actually address, how you can actually prepare yourself for a career, because eventually you don't want to just stop at just getting an education. There's an end goal, right? And that end goal may be you want to get a job, you want to start your own business, you want to do consulting, whatever your end goal. So if you're looking at the education as a means to an end, then we want to prepare you towards that end that you have in mind. And I know some of you had expectations that you are going to see how you could actually prepare yourself along this career path of maybe being a data scientist. So we're not just going to even though most of our focus would be on that means, which is the education part, but you actually see how that connects to the career itself, the end that you want to get to. And I went out sharing about the means of my own career. You could actually see how the education is like the means taking me to the end, which is the career that I want to forge in that field. Right. So another thing you'd see is you're going to be able to see the future from today. Make preparations. You make preparations to advance your career. Okay. So in terms of what you gain, we will look at the roadmap. So you are here and you want to get here. So how can you get there? So based on this, experiences that we've had on going this path, and some others have had as well. So you'd see a roadmap and a checklist that takes you from where you are now to where you want to go as a postgraduate scholar. Because one problem a lot of people have is, okay, where do I go from here? There's a lot to, it seems, I can't get a grasp of how to get started. So how do I get started? How do I what are the things to do specifically, not just in bits and pieces. So we're going to like put all of that together, and you'd see like a roadmap and checklist to how you could actually go from where you are, which is ground zero, no experience about postgraduate admissions, no idea where to search, no idea how to write, how to prepare your application documents, no information about countries, where or universities where you could do this study, no idea about funding, you don't know how to fund your studies. So starting from that, base of I don't know anything, I don't know how to go about it, to where you can actually be equipped. So that's like a roadmap. Then we're going to have group coaching and support on how to gain admissions and win scholarships. So the good thing about good group coaching is the networking element of it, which some of you were interested in. Network. You kind of work in groups, and you're able to collaborate on activities that are going to help you prepare. So when it's not just going to be a talk and go, but you're going to already start there to work out those things, so that as you're leaving, you're equipped, you're empowered, with the right tools that you need to actually go and expand on what you've already learned and received. Okay, then we going to have practical sessions, on drafting this, like academic CV, research proposals, motivation letter, emailing potential supervisors, and preparing for interviews. So it's going to be practical. It's going to be hands-on exercises. And we would also have ready-to-use resources. So resources that you can, and templates that you can help you quickly get started. So you don't need to like comb the whole place looking for templates and all that. Like, you're going to have those resources to help you get started quickly with your applications. And of course, you would have received the experience, the idea as well on how to go about it. So the template, you just use it as like a guide to then expand and get yours. All right, then we actually have two packages for this bootcamp, the silver and the gold package. So these things I've talked about are all on the silver package. So this checklist, group coaching, practical sessions, ready to use resources, they're all, you can all find them on the silver package. And what we're having now, this webinar, is really more of an introductory session. We opened it up to everyone, but it's going to be in the main session when you have signed up for these packages, that you will be able to access all of this, right? The gold, in addition to what you have in the silver, you're going to have a one-on-one review of your application materials, and you get personalized feedback, up to 2 weeks after the bootcamp. So yeah, we all that you've received at the bootcamp, including the template. So you would then go and expand on it, create your own documents, create your own application package, and you'll be able to get personalized feedback on them. Then another thing we offer is 1 month of support and inspiration that includes 2 times 30 minutes one-on-one coaching, to explore your postgraduate journey. So some of you, even beyond just the postgraduate admission, you may be interested in just talking about your maybe your postgraduate journey, or even your career journey as a whole. Like, where would this career take me? So some people have that question in mind, and you may have specific issues. For example, okay, I'm from petroleum engineering background. where would all of this take me if I get on this pathway, if I um, go on this journey to getting a postgraduate in data science, AI, and machine learning. So these are things that you can then talk to us about one on one. Another interesting package here would be premium subscription. So now, this so beyond just giving you this in all this information, we're now you now subscribe to get latest postgraduate scholarship and admission opportunities in data science and AI, so and machine learning. So this would then be tailored to this field. You're going to be receiving updates on the latest opportunities that you could apply for. So that's like it just comes fresh to you and you can apply for it. That even increases your chances all the more of securing these opportunities. And it would also come with tips and insight for successful admission. So this would be you'd receive this up to 3 months after the bootcamp. And then there's going to be a great rate on if you need follow-up coaching sessions and for accountability. You'd also have a great rate for that. Then let's quickly look at the bootcamp structure. So the where what we're doing right now is the stage one, which includes the Q&A webinar sessions, and tomorrow we're going to do some welcome and introductions. It's still going to be in this format. Then stage two is actually when we then start getting our hands dirty, start working on these exercises. We start getting hands-on and all of that I've talked about in the silver package. We're going to do it within this stage. And of course, if you signed up for the gold package, that would now be your stage three, because you're going to now have follow-up meetings, you're going to receive personalized feedback, and you're going to be receiving subscriptions subsequently. Okay, so this is the very last. You can still register now, because everyone is attending this session. It's free, but you can still register if you want to be part of the secure or sessions, the main sessions. You can still sign up now, and you follow the directives to make payments and secure your place. So that's the website. We're going to put it on the chat, scholarleen.com/bootcamp. Just register and you're going to get a confirmation message just as you click submit. That would take you to the payment portal. All right, so this is it for today. Thank you so much for attending, for your audience, and I'll be happy to take your questions from here. So if you could put your questions on the chat box, and we'll be able to see it and answer those questions. Thank you. Okay. All right, so I'm just looking at the comments. Yes, so Alice saying really want to be a participant in the new generation of data science and ML and AIS. It's really an interesting place to be, interesting discipline. Okay. Oh, I didn't know about the screen. Sorry. So Chukwemeka is asking how many university application packages would be reviewed under the gold plan? Okay, that's a good question. How many university application packages will be reviewed under the gold plan? Okay, what we said was like that it's going to be within 2 weeks, but it depends. Are they going to vary a lot? Because some of your application, depending on So for example, your CV, it may not vary much from one university to the other, though there might be slight variations probably, but some others like let's say your motivational letter or your personal statements, depending on the application prompt you're giving as well, or the essay prompts, they may vary. So we can keep it at three different. So for those ones that are going to vary a lot, we can keep it at three. But we can discuss that in your specific case. But it's going to be within 2 weeks period. So a 2 week period after the bootcamp. Okay. Charles is asking, says, thank you so very much, Marilyn. Thank you, Charles. You're welcome. Please, is this bootcamp focused on admission in UK alone? Okay, good question. No, it's not focused on admission in UK alone. It's going to touch on other countries as well. So, we're going to pull case studies and examples from other countries as well. And some of them, like, you're not going to find for institutions, you're not going to find very much, you're not going to find much difference from one country to the other, depending on the institution. For example, maybe the requirements for study may just vary slightly. Some countries require English language, some require GRE, TOEFL, and all of those. So you're going to have slight variations, and we're going to capture that. That's some things are more generic. You need CV wherever you are, whichever country you're applying to. But there are some, let's say, documents or exams or tests you may not need from one country to the other. So we will do our best to capture these slight variations. Okay. Yeah, that would also apply for, let's say, your search. When we talk about searching for admissions, searching for scholarships, where to search, how to search, we would capture these variations, requirements. Yeah. Okay. Oluwatobi, you're asking, yeah, if anyone has more questions, please do well to ask. I think I missed some. Sorry, I just went down and right. So, what is the possibility of getting a job as a beginner? Okay, so that the possibility of getting a job as a beginner, it's you need to actually start from when you say beginner. You need to define what beginner is. Beginner without knowledge of programming, or without knowledge of statistics, or without domain expertise. So you can actually start off with in stages. So you could do, although in the bootcamp we would talk about how you can prepare yourself for postgraduate studies and even a career in this area. Well, you can do it in stages. So first stage is like volunteering on projects, working on pet projects. Second stage, maybe taking on an internship. So those are the things that get towards building your experience in this career path. So you don't like maybe start off applying for senior data scientist, for example, because your profile is not going to match it. You may not even start off applying as a data scientist because your profile will not match it as well. So you need to gradually build up your profile in this field. So you start off from working on basic stuff, learning the skills that are going to help you, and then at some point you can take on pet projects, volunteering projects, internships, and then you grow from there. Okay, Chukwemeka is asking. Okay, no, I've answered that question. Hold on. Let me not miss this. Because okay, so Ali Bello, that's a continuation of your question. Because some of the requirements for getting most of the data science or ML job is much. Okay, yeah. So yeah, some of their requirements is much because those are some of the skills you get to build as you learn. For example, some of them would ask you for, let's say, experience in cloud, because these things are connected. When you're working with data, you may have to do some data collection, you may have to do data cleaning, so you need to learn skills in that area. So in the process, you're going to gain a varied number of skills. You may even need to deploy the models. So that's then where you begin to even work with data engineers, or even almost start playing the role of a data engineer, work on cloud platforms to deploy those models. So there are other skills you're going to pick up. And there's even some of them would ask you for communication related skills, being able to communicate, being able to, some would ask you even for industry skills. So for example, if you're looking for data science role in, let's say, healthcare, some would say knowledge of healthcare is an added advantage, and that's fine, that's normal. But these are skills you're going to pick up, as you move along. And that's why it's good to start working on, pet projects, start working on, let's say, doing the projects that would expose you to the skills. Right. Okay. Hold on. I think I've skipped some questions. Oluwatobi Zaxon, from your experience, what is the minimum for PhD scholarships, and how many publications you need to apply for PhD scholarships? From your experience, what is the minimum? Do you mean minimum number of publications? What is the minimum? I don't get that first part. Where you said what is the minimum for PhD scholarship. So could you clarify, Oluwatobi? What's the minimum words for PhD scholarship? So let me answer the second part. How many publications you need to apply for PhD scholarship? Well, there is no let's say hard figure, say it's one or two or five, because the thing about publication is sometimes it's not even about just the quantity, sometimes it's even about the quality. You could have one publication that has more weight than 100 publications just because of the quality of that publication, where it's published, how it's ranked, the number of citations, the number of factors. So there's no like hard figure on that. But if you even start with one to show that you have research potential, that is, it can go a long way. Okay, then the minimum part, maybe you can drop on the chat what you meant there. What's the minimum for PhD scholarship? Okay, Frank is asking, what's the percentage likelihood to get funding through your mentorship? Okay, that's a good question. As a data scientist, I like that measurement. Percentage likelihood is a good question. So, what we can assure you from this bootcamp is that, we're going to give you all the necessary information for you to, and the tools as well, equip you. So it's empowering you to be able to gain access to this funding. And I've already talked about the, giving you those information as they come, updates on funding opportunities. So be the masters or even PhD opportunities. So by sending you those information and even being able to look at your materials, you're going to improve greatly your chances of securing the funding. Okay, so that's what we're promising from the bootcamp, because these are, I mean, these are different from experience we've gathered. We've modeled this. We know that information is not easy to come by, especially in this field of data science, because it's a growing field. So from the experience of Scholarleen, we've been running Scholarleen for the past 3 years, so it's not it's not a day's experience. So what we've built over the years and experiences we've had, we've also gained coaching others. That's what we're putting together to advise, to coach. Okay, so Alpha, you asking, when is the boot camp? All right, good question. The boot camp, like, this is the first day of the boot camp, but this is the free session. So there's still room to sign up. I'm going to put the link. Yeah, I've posted the link for you to go and register for the. Okay, let me see your follow-up question. Do I need to apply for the bootcamp before I'm allowed to attend? Yes, you would need to, so you need to sign up for the paid sessions and the main sessions, which is going to kick off from next week. So those are actually the ones where you have this the coaching sessions, the practical sessions. You're going to have the roadmap and all the resources that you need. Gerald is asking, please, is it possible to secure admission in ML or AI without a previous academic publication or an experience as a data scientist? So this question, I mean, this is what we're going to address during the bootcamp. How to, so when you have these specific issues, like scenarios where, let's say, you don't have academic publication or you don't have experience, what do you do? How do you go about it? Yeah. Theophilus, I don't know, the link you put, can you put it on the broadcast where everyone will see it? Yeah, just post it on the broadcast page. So there is actually a link if you just want to go straight to making payments. There's a link you can use. Let me get back to the comments. Right. Can someone from Cameroon apply? Yes, you can apply. If you're having troubles with the payment, just let us know. Email hello@scholarleen.com. So you can email us if you're having any problems, and we'll be able to help you. All right. Okay. What other questions? Yeah. Any other questions here? Would there be like a group where we can stay, network, and discuss more on the bootcamp? Okay. All right. Group to network. Yeah. So we're going to have, and what we're thinking of in the course of carrying out those activities, you'd have the opportunity to break into small groups and discuss. So you now have the opportunity to share contact and really talk to people, get to know what they do. So we're going to make provision for that. Thank you so much for that comment. All right, so I think that's it. no more questions. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's also a phone number here, a WhatsApp phone number. It's +234 because some persons are not from Nigeria. So +23470. So you can use that to reach out, ask questions. If you have any questions about the bootcamp or about registering, just go ahead and chat us up there. All right, that's it for today. So tomorrow we are going to continue with this webinar, or it will be welcome and introductions, and it's going to be in the evening like this by 7 p.m. We're going to get details to join the live section. So just do well to go on this website and register, at least register, so that you'll be able to get further communication about tomorrow's sections. All right, thank you so much, and that's it for today. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Okay, he says he can't see the number. Let me drop it. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, I've just posted the number there again if you still need it. All right, thank you.